Hello, and welcome to this one-chart video tutorial on how to use the provider notification flowsheet, also known as critical results reporting. I'm going to show you how to properly document any reportable event that needs to be communicated to another provider. This function can be used for CNA to RN, RN to physician, or general clinician to clinician communication. As you can see, we already have PowerChart opened and we have navigated to the flowsheet doc with Adult Quick View displayed. For this tutorial, let's record a provider notification for a critical potassium value of 6.0 reported to the hospitalist taking care of the patient and that new orders were received. We'll begin by clicking and navigating to the provider notification band. And next, we're going to double click into the dark blue cell under the most recent time column so that the system will automatically walk us through each of the cells that needs to be recorded. At this point, let's review the list of options that are presented in the list before us. If, for example, we needed to record an abnormal blood pressure being called to the provider, we could select vital signs. A chemstick value would be recorded as lab results, and then selecting order clarification can be used for any questions pertaining to an order or an order set for which you want to record the outcome. For any and all other types of communication that don't match anything in the list, you can always select Other, and that will allow you to free text in the subject matter. But for this example, we're going to select the option for critical lab result, and we're going to follow that by pressing the Enter key. As you can see, pressing the Enter key recorded the value in the cell and automatically advanced us to the next cell. Notice that having selected critical lab result, a new result cell has displayed that wasn't previously there. Take notice of the arrow in the diamond icon next to notification reason. Notice the message that tells us that this is a conditional field. Selecting critical lab result allowed the provider readback/verified field to display. We now need to record yes or no. In this instance, we're going to choose yes because we actually spoke to the hospitalist. The system automatically advanced us to the notification details field. Here, we need to record all of the details associated with the call to the provider. We will record the potassium value of 6.0 having been called to the hospitalist. Pressing Enter advances us to the next field, which happens to be unable to reach provider, and because we spoke to the hospitalist, this field can be skipped by pressing the Enter key. The next cell that we're brought to is the provider informed field. Here we're going to enter in the name of the hospitalist we actually spoke to, and we'll begin by typing in the last name. And by seeing the message that there's multiple, tells us that we have to specify more information or perform a more advanced search. I'll do this by clicking on the magnifying glass. From the list of providers displayed, I'm going to scroll down through the list until I find the hospitalist, click on the name, follow by clicking OK, and then record the name in the field by pressing the Enter key, which will advance us to the next field. When we are brought to the next cell, which is provider requested interventions, we need to indicate whether orders were received or not. There's also a choice for Other, which allows for a free text entry if necessary. Here, we will select Orders Received because we actually received orders from the provider. It's important to note that the orders need not be documented here because they would have needed to be recorded in the order profile to be acted upon. There is no need for double documentation. At this point, we have recorded all of the necessary information for this provider notification. To complete, we're going to navigate to the green check mark at the top of the screen. We're going to click it. You'll immediately notice that the color of the text in the result cells has changed to black, indicating that the results have been saved. As always, to complete our process, we'll do a refresh, and we have now recorded a provider notification. For the next example, we will record that the provider could not be reached and that a message had to be left. Additionally, we will record what occurs when the provider is able to call us back. Once again, we're going to navigate to the provider notification band. And as in the previous example, we'll double-click on the blue cell under the most recent time column so that we'll be automatically advanced through each of the cells. Once again, we will select the critical lab result option and follow that by pressing enter. Once again, the provider readback verified cell now displays. This time, we will choose no. When we're brought to the next cell, which is notification details, record all of the details relative to this notification. This example, we attempted to contact the hospitalist in order to report a critical potassium value of 6.0 and left a message. As always, complete the entry by pressing enter. And because of our response of no, the next cell we're brought to is unable to reach provider. Notice the only selection available is left message to contact, which I'll select at this time, which automatically advances us to the next cell, which is looking for the name of the provider that we left a message with. As in the past, we will type in the last name. And because there are multiple names that match, we'll click on the magnifying glass to do a search. We'll navigate through the list to find our hospitalist name once again. Click from the list, followed by clicking OK. And then we'll record the name in the field by pressing enter. At this point, we have recorded all the necessary information for this attempted provider notification. To save, we're going to navigate to the green check mark at the top of the screen. Once again, taking notice that not only is another column available, but the color of the text in the cells has changed, indicating it's been saved. I'll click on my refresh, and we recorded an attempted communication. Once the provider returns the phone call, we can complete the last two cells. If the requested interventions listed do not match what actually occurred, we can select Other and enter the information, followed by pressing Enter. This time, we'll click into the field Provider Informed, enter in the doctor's name, do our lookup, select our hospitalist and click OK. Provider requested interventions, orders were received. Complete the process by selecting the green check mark, and we have now completed the provider notification. Lastly, we will click on the refresh, and our task is complete. This completes the tutorial for recording a provider notification.